The Jane Pratt project, exojane.com, launched almost a month ago. It is exceeding our expectations in terms of traffic, and also in terms of the commitment that people are making to the site. They're spending a lot of time on the site. They're going deep into content, and that's fantastic. We couldn't have asked for anything better. What it indicates about our strategy is we're looking, we have an ad network, a very broad-based, very large ad network. I think we're at about 140 million uniques US, 400 globally. And what we're trying to do is build sort of vertical networks where we have a site like Jane, a voice like Jane, who is at the top of the pyramid, where she represents style or women's lifestyle. And we would bring in some additional voices, maybe perhaps less well known, who are supporting also in that category. And then underpinning all of that for scale, we have the ability to target very finely inside of our network. So if somebody wants to buy a style vertical, we will be able to provide them both reach and authenticity provided by content from passionate voices. We just recently acquired Dogster network, so we have Dogster, Catster, 1 million or so uniques a week on the pets vertical. We're building out underneath that as well. We're looking at the right strategy to bring vertical by vertical along. In the last year, the company has worked in 19 different categories. It's a little too much to ask to get 19 all at once. We have believed for a long, long time that in a world of media fragmentation, what is crucial to get is attention. Advertisers are paying for impressions that a lot of times people are not seeing or not paying attention to, and publishers, frankly, are playing some games with putting impressions on places where nobody would interact with them or notice them. So our model, as we developed it about 4.5 years ago, of cost per engagement, was about validating that the advertiser is really only paying when they have the user's attention. Now what that means as we get into custom content and these leveraging the influence and attention that accrues to somebody who's passionate or expert about the thing that they're writing about or making videos about, as in your case, is people tend to want to look at content outside of the intermediation of a brand. So when Jane says something about fashion, that's a lot different than a retailer or a fashion brand saying something about fashion. And what we found through doing a recent research study, which we call Guided by Voices, is that the people who are following what we call passionate voices, independent content creators, are a really interesting demographic. There's some real differences between them and the audience at large. They are younger, their income is higher, they're better educated, and this is crucial, they're about 70% more connected than the rest of the internet. And what I mean by more connected is they have 70% more professional and personal connections through online networks like Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. So what we're seeing here is that when people find content that they deem to be valuable and they trust it, which is kind of the essential piece about having a relationship with someone who is a passionate expert, they are sharing it, they're amplifying it through their networks. People who are followers of passionate voices are much more likely to trust the voice and everything that surrounds it. So when there's advertising presented on their sites primarily or in other platforms, they find the advertising to be more trustworthy as well. They're more likely to take action on it, they're more likely to find it memorable, they're more likely to find it interesting and relevant, mainly because it is more relevant to their interests. In working with, say, a Jane Pratt or a Dogster, what an advertiser would do is create a program that is based on content. So there's something there beyond the pushing of a product that the advertiser is making available to the audience through their sponsorships. It's crucial when you're thinking about content, you stop having to think about the ad platform and the network and start thinking about how you can interact with a passionate voice no matter what platform they're on, because very few of them are on only one platform at this point. While 70% of the audience is going to the Voice's site, many of them are following them on Twitter, on Facebook. They're following through RSS feeds, which aren't carrying the ad products. They're reading email newsletters. So when you follow a passionate voice, you follow the voice, you don't follow the platform.